Here's everything you need to know about the FOMC performance report. So right now we're looking at YM, we're looking the last month. I'm doing this on purpose so we can look at just this one individual day. And we're looking specifically at 1 day before and 1 day after FOMC. So what this report measures is takes the day of FOMC and it tells you the performance before, and it tells you the performance of the day of, and it tells you the performance of the day after. So in this case, the way that this works is, I'm going to show you an example right now. So we can see here May 7th is our FOMC day. So let's start with this red bar first. How are we going to see the performance here? So the day before, the performance of the day before, this might not be super intuitive to some people who trade futures, but the way that performance is calculated is always from the previous session's close. It's not always, but in this case it is. From the previous session's close to this session's close. So the day before, the performance is going to be from the 5th, the close of the 5th, to the close of the 6th. You can see minus 1.2%, minus 1.2%. Now the performance for the day of is going to be from the previous close to the close here, 0.69%. So that is positive performance. So that's why you can see 0.69%. Now if we go again from the close here to the close here, 0.69% again. So if you look, and I'll just show you quickly so you understand, if I switch over to Tesla here, and we're going to look on TradingView, it says minus 1.34%. Where is that coming from? Because right now the day is pretty flat. The day is actually, if I go from the open to the current price, it's minus 0.27, which is a lot less than what you're seeing here. Where this comes from, so if you're ever looking at CNBC or whatever else, where this comes from is the previous day's close. So you can see now we have minus 1.27, minus 1.3. It's just moving around a little bit. But you can see this is how the performance is calculated. That's why for this specific report, we do it this way. The important piece is that we have different customizations that you can pick. So for example, like in this case, it's from the previous close to the close. For some of the other ones, like if you go to previous day's range, for example, you can actually customize if you want to look from the open to the close, which would be from the open of the session to the close of the session, versus from the previous close to the close. That's this. So it is very important that you do understand how that works, because that's going to impact this performance, of course. But really the way to use this, and you can extend this out a few days. Let me just refresh this quickly. You can extend this out to be 5 days if you're a swing trader. And then you can see the average performance, the days leading up to, the day of, and the days after. So this is the 5 days. It's using 4 total FOMC days. And this is pretty tailored towards swing trading. Now, I'm going to go to the averaged results here. This report is looking at is, first of all, it's filtering for all of the days where the initial reaction at 2 p.m. when the FOMC decision comes out are positive, which you can see right over here, versus all of the days that have a negative initial reaction. So what do I mean by negative and positive? It is the 15-minute candle at 2 p.m. If it's green, that falls into the positive category. If it's red, that's in the negative category. And pretty much all this is doing is taking it's a 15-minute chart pretty much, and it's telling you the average performance. So if you notice that if the initial reaction is green, the rest of the day is kind of pretty much going to be green. It's going to continue in that direction. Whereas the same, which obviously this changes over time, but the same is if the initial reaction is negative, probably when Powell comes out, on average, you're going to get a move back up. So it's not just going to flush. Now for the rest of the day, it is going to be relatively flat, but slightly negative. So this is kind of going to help you manage how to trade based on that initial reaction. And then you can see here the individual days. This is going to allow you to actually pick which day of FOMC you want to look at, and this is going to break it out by individual days. So if you guys have any questions on this, please reach out to our support. We're always happy to help. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching.